current state of things right now, I mean, we're just in like this extreme holding pattern. It's an unprecedented situation. Never before has anything like this happened in Supercross. I think we're all just kind of left scratching our heads.
I think they're going to look at every single option to have the continuity and get the series that everybody wants.
What Feld has basically come out and said is that they want to run all the rest of the racing before the end of the year. And it's basically a race now for them to put on these dates, and then all of the other races on the calendar are going to have to adjust around the remainder of this Supercross championship.
If you're a trainer or rider, what would you do in this scenario? You're looking at the earliest possible race that you're going to have is June 13th. So no matter what, you know that you don't need to be really ready to go racing until then at the earliest.
Just a really strange time for everyone, honestly. Like, we're all shooting from the hip at this point. I think everyone on planet Earth is.
I think Cooper's had a little bit more adversity this year.
Yeah, he's a beast. Regardless of what happens this season, I mean, he's showing that even if he doesn't get it, he's pretty gritty. Yep. And we'll go into 2021 with him again as one of the favorites.
Tied in the points, man. This season couldn't get much better than what it's been. This is going to be great run to the finish between Kenny and Eli. This is going to be great.
And Roczen with a phenomenal start.
Roczen is a little bit more methodical this year, just not taking those risks. He wants to finish the whole series.
This is a better Kenny than we've ever seen in Supercross, I might argue.
He set the tone. He's like, Eli, I'm gonna hammer her out this whole main event.
I think Tomac's gonna win the title. That's what I think.
Okay.
Look at that run from Eli Tomac for the lead. He's got it.
You got more points after the round 10 than you've ever had before. You got the red plate, so you got to be feeling good about your chances here to get your first 450 Supercross title.
Problem is I'm battling Ken Roczen, you know. It's just going to be like, who's the guy that's going to really flinch first, I feel like, between us two.
Webb takes the lead. The reigning champ has turned it around to the top step of the podium in San Diego.
Cooper Webb comes off of basically a gurney and races for a podium spot.
One of the greatest comebacks we've seen in a long time.
I don't think you can teach this mental fortitude, Kev. I think that either born with it or without it. And Cooper Webb, to me, it seems to me like he's never blinked when he's had the chance to blink.
I just wonder if we're starting to see these three guys break away.
I don't see a run happening from anyone. I think it's going to be a chess match to the end.
We good to go? Future clothing brand, not merch. Merch is old school. So right now at Liquid, like a clothing designer and that stuff. So we're gonna go in, plan out what design we wanna do for my clothing brand, and then we'll, get onto it and start making some stuff.
Is there a more popular 250 rider that has never won a race than Jett Lawrence? This kid got a message from Daniel Ricciardo, an F1 driver, after Anaheim.
Yeah, kid's just got so much charisma, man. He is fearless, and even off the bike, everything he and his brother are messing around on Instagram, it is a welcome change to the guarded riders who don't let you inside their world at all.
I want people to look at it and go, okay, that's a sick shirt, I want to wear that, not, oh, it's owned by so-and-so, like so-and-so designed this, so I want to wear it. Like, I want people to wear my stuff because it's sick. And also, I'm trying to change the sport into trying to add more character to it.
And it just seems like Jett Lawrence, in an unbelievably short amount of time. I mean, we're talking 3 total races. Unbelievable how many people know who he is.
You just start with creating product that is what you wear and how you put things together.
My everyday style is like the skater look. Like I normally have the like Dickie long pants with like Nike SB or Vans or something like that.
He's such a shooting star right now. It's almost not fair to pit other people on his trajectory.
I wouldn't really call myself a superstar yet, because I haven't really done anything. I think it'll be cooler once I hear it and back it up a bit kind of thing. Place is big.
Daniel Ricciardo is one of the most popular drivers in Formula One. He's one of Australia's most famous sportsmen, and he's sending Jett Lawrence a video message, almost like he kind of sees a bit of himself in Jett.
He's been criticised a lot. We talked about that. He's the kid that we're going to put into Tom Brady's living room. And I told you about the Netflix stuff and Hulu. We're going to have him in that living room going, we got to go see this guy.
You've got Chad Reed on his farewell tour, who has basically laid out the golden path for the next great Australian Supercross star. This season, he's passing the torch to Jett Lawrence.
When you stop and like think about it, I want to make sure we succeed, because my mum and dad has gone through a lot, like we're selling the house. So like in Europe, if we failed, we didn't really have anything to go back to.
I don't think that you could ever compare the accomplishments of Chad against another Australian rider, because it was a different time, it was a different era in the sport.
We are definitely looking at it now, it's like we've made it, but then again we haven't made it.
Yeah.
Like we're still nobodies really.
Then you have a guy like Jett that is just taking advantage of every outlet possible.
2021, I think he wins the title. The kid's he's next level freak.
Our life now is definitely a lot better than from where we were before we started this journey.
Jett just has that complete package. He's got the will to win. He's got the speed to win. He's got the talent to win. And then he's got this insane personality. And forget about the Australian thing. His personality in a rider from any continent is going to absolutely kill it.
Here's just something to think about. The training facilities, you can almost crank a motorcycle up if you're Adam Cincerillo, Ken Roczen, and then right down the road, Cooper Webb, you can hear that guy firing his up. You have like a JV varsity deal going on. You got your varsity guys, Cooper Webb, and he's got his little JV buddy, his understudy, if you will, is RJ Hampshire.
I was so bummed whenever he said the my sister thing.
I think he went 2-2-1.
Then I kissed the sister.
Dude, he was almost crying over it. Like, he literally thought I was, like, mad.
Right down the road again is Ken Roczen, AC, and their little JV guy they're bringing up, a little guy named Chase Sexton. So do you think there's anything to that? Is there any kind of fun tension just being that close to one another?
I mean, props if it is true. That's impressive. 6-year-old kissing a 13-year-old or whatever she was.
Well, how can it not be? That's like two high school rivals. It's like a race within a race. I love it.
And it's similar to what the Tobacco Road rivalry between Duke and North Carolina, the basketball powerhouses that are just right down the road from each other.
It turns out that this is a little bit of a rivalry.
RJ Hampshire up the inside on Chase Sexton. Bam! Takes him to the ground.
Hampshire's led more laps the last 2 weeks I think he has in his whole career.
Hampshire with another good start.
I think he's firmly in the podium consideration each weekend.
He's in the lead. That's a tough spot to be in.
Oh, and there was contact.
Can we get a win, Weed, you think?
Well, yeah, I think if you look at just those 3 rounds alone, I mean, it's probably been 20% improvement per week.
Here's where the Alden program, I think, is the most beneficial. It's in the mental side. When you're there, you go to the gate knowing the program works, and I think that's what's the most powerful part of the program.
Pierce Brown made his Supercross debut, qualified 4th overall, got 2nd in the heat, I think. TLD KTM, they needed some good work, some good luck.
Those things are rough right now.
Good job for Pierce. He'll get better. He's got some speed, that's for sure.
I mean, I know it's a building year for the Troy Lee Designs KTM team, but man, you kind of see like a glimmer of hope in Pierce Brown. And it kind of makes sense that they did this tear down to really build back up again. And it's looking like they've got a guy that they can go through that process with now.
I feel so much better.
Look better. Yeah, it does look more like your comfort zone there.
Yeah.
Hey, these, like you got into them better. It's like you didn't want to go too fast, so you shut off like 4 whoops in. So.
Yeah, I felt like I was more consistent through them though.
No, you were.
How you feeling? How's the body feel?
Good, dude. Feel good today.
Good.
What are you gonna focus on?
Myself.
And what else?
Consistency.
All right.
Control.
Control
is big, so you want to find that line, but you don't want to go over it, you know?
From what I understand, Pierce has the attitude of, I'm going for it. And you can see in the heat race and in qualifying, he was going for it. He was not letting up.
Shane McElrath right behind Pierce Brown. This is a good ride for Pierce Brown. Can you imagine the nerves he's going through?
And they're trying to keep that in check because I think they know they have someone special and they don't want him to ruin himself or ruin his own confidence by something goofy happening.
He was boosting on top of those freaking whoops with the clutch last time, and he kind of just like bounced into him that time.
Well, he gets close to RJ, and then he loses focus of what he's supposed to be doing.
Mitch Payton has always said that. He goes, I'll take a guy with raw speed over a guy that can go 20 minutes plus 2 because I can get him to that point.
Compared to like Monday to Tuesday was a massive difference. And even Tuesday to today, I think he's a little better. It's just the track is so gnarly right now that the lap times aren't reflecting that. But he's about the same laps as he was on a smoother track, you know?
Well, he gets in this habit of looking at RJ.
No, that's what I mean.
But it's like, you know, RJ's seasoned, you know, he's got a lot of time under his belt.
And we're essentially in his backyard.
Yeah.
He's been riding here all year.
A guy like Pierce Brown, you expect that he's going to make mistakes. You expect that he's going to crash out of these good positions. And you expect that in 2020, he's not going to be the guy that you want him to be. But man, you're really stoked if you're Tyler Keefe and you watch that heat race and you go, yeah, this is the dude that could be the future of our team.
What's he going to have to do at Daytona to bounce back from that, confidence-wise?
Yeah, I think they just have to slow him down to make him go faster. Just make the game slow down a little bit, like a baseball player. When he sees the ball, you can see the ball spinning. You can tell if it's curveball or fastball. You just got to slow down. Just critical thinking skills got to be a little bit better. And Tyler and those guys, I guarantee you, they are working on that. The speed's there.
Hey, that was a good moto, all things.
You should be smiling after that one. That was good, dude. This is no big deal.
No, solid moto, man. Corners were good.
Day. Start to finish, it was a solid day. On all 3 days this week, went like this. Each day. Your arms right in that moto? Yeah. You all good?
I'm better in longer motos because I can get in the flow. If I did the guitar, it's so hard.
Well, and the track, you know, yesterday, you went from showing up to trying to go wide open on another track. Then you actually learned it, found some lines, got in the flow. Today was awesome. Really good.
Yeah, bud.
Daytona coming up this weekend, Davey. There's not a race on the calendar that has probably changed more than Daytona, but there's also not a race on the calendar that's more unique than Daytona Supercross, huh?
Yeah, Steve, I think that's very well said. It is the most unique round of any series I can think of. Daytona is just an outlier in the middle of a bunch of, beautiful, well-lit stadiums. You know what to expect. You know what's coming. And then you go to Daytona, and there are literally 4 first turns, at least this year.
Ken Roczen and Cooper Webb could not allow Eli Tomac to have any more momentum going forward into Daytona. If he carried a win from Atlanta into Daytona, that might have been the series right there. The firewall was Atlanta.
Checkers to Roczen! Oh my God! And Ken Roczen is now tied with Tomac, and they will share the red plate in Daytona.
I'm looking, if I'm trending upward with stocks right now, I'm buying Ken Roczen all day long.
It seemed like this series, there was a chance it was going to get away from everyone. It's back to a tight series again, and the vibe and just the overall feel of the series is totally different.
Cooper Webb refuses to go away, just like last year. Nobody believed it, and guess what? He made it happen. This year, Kevin, he's willing himself to make it happen because
he's inside a race now.
Exactly. Yeah. So if anything were to happen to those two guys, that is the determining factor to say, I'm still in it officially.
I could send it more if I needed to. I could almost be a little more aggressive in these spots.
Yeah, but be careful with it being, be patient. Yeah, be patient. You can be aggressive, lazy, but be patient.
I think, unfortunately, Webb might be out of this thing. I don't know how he's going to make up 24 points on both of them.
I think it just has to be like, yeah, thank God it's only 24, because it should be 50 or you should be on the injured list.
Yes.
Well, we can work with 24.
If Ken Roczen wins Daytona, the balance of power shifts firmly in his control to win on that track, on those conditions.
Yeah, he knows if he can go in and take a win away from Eli at a track like Daytona, that could really, send a message mentally to Eli that maybe this isn't his year after all.
Whoever wins will have not lucked out. He will have earned it.
It's going to get rough, but a rough track, anything can happen.
Fitness is normally not at the forefront of a Supercross race, but it will be at Daytona. It's going to be a great balance of speed and fitness and bike setup.
The fork felt harsh on the first initial part of a bump. Hey, Coop say the forks feel harsh on the first initial part hit. The initial part. Are we gonna adjust that? Yeah, he said open rebound a little bit. Yeah, I think should I ride like how I race? I think I should, huh? You make the decision right now. What does your gut tell you? Yeah, let's just go back to stiffer. 20 minutes of work, Ken. You dig down, make it happen. No matter where you're at, we do not give up until the checkered flag. Believe in yourself, Ken. You can do this.
Now it's the biggest dirt bike race in the world. And it's the 50th running of the Daytona Supercross. And we got a battle at the front between Anderson and Roczen. Ken Roczen.
He has a lot of confidence from his run last week in Atlanta. I mean, just leading wire to wire.
Tomac buried back in the pack. And Webb is on the move. Here he comes, lots of speed. He's got Plotzinger also. What a move by Cooper Webb.
You guys start keeping the tabs on me.
Webb and Tomac.
Webb has made his way into second. Tomac makes a little mistake, but I'm assuming in the next couple of laps he's going to try to make that move for third. They're going to have a clear shot at him in the second half of this main event.
Oh! Bobbled by Webb.
Oh, he landed with too much weight on the front end and killed his momentum. This number 3 is going for it, Brown. He is on a mission.
I think Roczen is adapting to the conditions right now, knowing that he's got to cover the insides. The problem, though, is Eli Tomac has some of the lines that he's using the outside, too, so he might try to use that as a setup.
Oh, and a bobble by Roczen, Daniel. Tomac the wrong side. Ken's going to make it a run all the way to the checkers. But Daytona Supercross goes to Eli Tomac.
I think you have to give Roczen credit because he came out to prove a point, and he was doing it, if not for a superhuman second half of the main event from Tomac.
Good job, you guys. Be proud of yourself, buddy.
I fought till the end.
That's all I can ask for.
I stuck in the middle, dude.
Yeah.
I tried.
No, I'm so proud of you.
I tried to get him in the ending.
I know, you pushed, and you brought it back. That's all I can ask.
And it is possible that Eli Tomac's pass on Ken Roczen at Daytona gave him the championship. How crazy would that be?
I know, it's unbelievable. They were tied, and it was a late race pass. We're all a little skeptical of getting in 17 rounds. So every point just got magnified that much.
I keep thinking back, that could have been a multi-million-dollar pass if the whole thing ended. To be those guys, I can't even imagine being in their position, because if the whole thing ended.
This is bizarre, strange, and I don't quite know how to wrap my head around it.
Everything is changing by the hour.
Right now, we can't have these races.
Well, it's official. Las Vegas and Salt Lake City Supercrosses have been officially canceled.
Whatever you think about doesn't matter. You just simply can't do it.
I think they're going to try to make up some of the rounds.
The Vegas governor just said something about the 250 people. Crazy shit, though, man. The series is suspended right now.
One of the greatest comebacks we've seen in a long time, with a phenomenal top step of the podium in Daytona.
We're on pause right now. Dave, are you hoping to get all 7 rounds in the fall? Is that the tentative, let's call it penciled plan right now?
Plan is to get rounds 11 through 17 in by the end of 2020.
If this thing goes back off in the fall time, where does it go? Where do they race? Football and college football is not going to take a break. They're going to come on as quick as possible too. Like, where the hell are we racing?
That's the biggest challenge as a rider and as a trainer, is the uncertainty.
The situation is so fluid that it changes not just day by day, it changes hour by hour.
All this off time, for us anyway, what do you think the riders are up to? Is it business as usual?
You know what I was thinking about this earlier is that they're all about structure during the racing season. They don't have breaks like this, let alone months. They don't even have days off.
We kind of collectively made a decision at the Baker's factory to not ride.
You get guys like Kenny, who he's just working on his house and getting a chance to be a normal dude for maybe the first time in his entire life.
I'm kind of just going with the flow here. I'm riding a little bit here and there. I'm not overdoing it and going out on the boat a little bit. I was in the gym earlier. I'm just kind of like doing what I want to, I guess.
New developments. There's been new things come to light, man. After everybody, including Dave Prater from Feld, Mike Mewey from Feld, everybody saying that Supercross was going to finish after motocross. Things have changed swiftly and quickly here recently, but something just happened, and we may get, starting mid-next month, mid-May, we may get 7 rounds in Glendale.
It's time to bring the action!
This seems, JT, like something that's really close to happening, and Kelmy is still skeptical, though.
It sounds crazy. It sounds like some sort of pipe dream conspiracy theory that you would immediately shoot down and say, yeah, right, that's not happening. But with the amount of people that are involved in this and the confidence, I think, that's behind it right now, I think they're going to try to pull it off.
We know that there's a championship on the line. We know that they're going to finish it, and we know that there's going to be a lot of time until then. Potentially a completely separate championship in between. They're going to have months to think about it. Day in, day out, mistakes that they've made so far, races they wish that they could have back. No matter what, it'll be a challenge unlike anything a Supercross champion has ever had to face.